Perfect. Good, rolling.
And welcome to the Pagey train. Today I have in the chair with me, Whit, Soldier of the Earth. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, mate. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it, mate.
Oh man, it's really stoked to have you on the show. Like, we met very recently, right?
Yeah, pretty recently, mate. A few months ago, maybe.
Yeah, a few months.
Yeah.
We've certainly shared a few ales. There's no doubt about that.
Plenty, mate. Always.
Tell us a bit about yourself. So, where are you from?
So my name's Callum. I was born in Cornwall in southwest of England 27 years ago. And I moved to Scotland when I was about 6 or 7 years old. That was in the forces. Lived there for 16, 17 years. Had enough. Yeah, I'm like, right. Came to Australia. Travelled after I finished my apprenticeship in Scotland. So.
Oh, what do you do? What's your apprenticeship? What do you do?
So I did an apprenticeship when I was 16. It's called an upstream oil and gas apprenticeship. So essentially, the average age in the oil and gas industry in Scotland is fucking like 55, 60 years old.
Really?
So the average age. So in 10, 20 years, there's going to be a massive shortage of skilled workers. So when I was about 16, 15, 16, some people coming around from the oil industry, to our schools, giving presentations, trying to get us to get involved.
Oh yeah, trying to enrol people in the profession.
Because I lived in Aberdeen in Scotland, it's the oil capital of Europe. So it was, it was always happening. So I was like, fuck it, I'll try. Out of like 1,000 people that went to the thing in my school, I was the only one that applied, and I got it. Like I was the youngest ever person by 2 years to get accepted for this apprenticeship.
Oh wow!
So that involved I had to do 2 years full-time study in college, mechanical engineering.
Yeah.
And then 2 or 3 years offshore on the practical side of things. So yeah, 16 years old, I had to move 4 hours south of home to go to college, like 9 to 5 days a week. Did that for 2 years. Got I got a diploma in mechanical engineering, not a degree, a diploma in mechanical engineering. Everything else involved with that. Did heaps of practical, like welding, lathes, mills, fucking proper metal fabrication. Finished my college. And then that was it. Boom, 18 years old, a fucking hour-and-a-half helicopter flight out to an oil platform.
Oh wow, so you worked on oil rigs, man?
Yeah.
As a teenager?
18 years old, mate. Went out fucking on a helicopter to an oil
bro,
platform.
that must be hectic doing that kind of work.
It was exciting.
That's dangerous work, right?
Yeah, full on, mate. Yeah, full on. When I was out there, I was offshore for 3 years. There was 4 helicopter crashes while I was out there. So
fuck.
That was 91 people died. So.
Oh man.
That's just commuting to work.
Yeah, that's just getting to the job.
Or getting home. Yeah. So it was pretty.
It would always enter your mind getting onto a helicopter, knowing that is this the day?
Especially being a mechanic, and I'm sitting there like fucking, and hearing all these bloody noises, and I'm just like, fuck. Like, come on, man, like, make it. And like, we always did. But yeah, before that, we had to do full on. You do your training, like your offshore survival training, which is basically firefighting, full on firefighting. Like you're literally getting sprayed with fucking burning oil in containers and stuff. And then the offshore survival training, which is you're in a massive swimming pool, like an Olympic-sized swimming pool, or like a decoy helicopter.
Yeah, I've done that.
And yeah, you have to sit in there, and they fucking nail it along the line and dump you in upside down, and you have to bash out the window and unclip yourself.
Well, they say to when I was doing that training, they say to close your eyes so that you will figure which way is up.
Yeah.
And not necessarily follow the bubbles, because the bubbles could be misleading. Close your eyes, and your body will know which way is up.
Well, we get trained that you know where you are in your seat. So you've got to think like you know where you are. You're always in unless you undo your belt, your seat belt. You know where you are.
Yeah.
So the seat belt was the last thing you get rid of. You pop your bloody window out. You've got rebreathers as well. So life jacket. So as you're crashing, you've got to pump up this like life vest. Like.
Oh, doesn't it come with a canister where you just pull a cord and auto inflate?
It might do now. It might do nowadays. The canister's mainly just for the actual life jacket. To inflate. They might do now. When I had to breathe in with a little tube.
Oh wow!
So that's called a rebreather. So it gives you an extra 60 seconds of oxygen.
Oh, so you collect off that air as you're finding your way. I see. Yes.
So you breathe as you're crashing. You pump in. You fill your rebreather up, which gives you a little bit of buoyancy, but not enough. Like you're gonna go straight to the fucking ceiling, and then when you pop the window, because you can just elbow these windows. They're made.
Yeah, they're designed to pop out.
They're made to just pop out and like boom, under your seatbelt, grab yoink yourself out. Yeah, but it's all good doing that in a swimming pool with divers next to you, right? Sound. Imagine doing that in like the pitch black, middle of the night, 20 meter, 30 meter seas.
Yeah.
Freezing cold, -20. And there's another fucking 12, 13 blokes next to you panicking, like, you know?
But with that said, though, at least having that experience in the pool, at least you have some preparation.
That's it. And I always felt like it wasn't enough.
Yeah. Well, it never is.
You know what I mean?
It never could be. Because if you think about the horrific incident of a helicopter crashing into the ocean, you're not just sort of like skipping a stone over this sort of thing. You're going to, if something's gone cataclysmically wrong.
Say if you did a main gearbox rotor shaft, like your main gearbox shaft, you've got no control. You can't auto rotate.
Yeah, there's none of that dandelion sort of issue where you're sort of like under its own pressure.
You're a stone, mate. Aye.
Yeah, and you're just going to bounce off the ocean, and then you can get caught in the suction of it sinking.
Well, in the North Sea, you can only survive 1 minute without a survival suit on because it's that cold.
Fuck, dude. So you've got a minute to get out and get to a raft.
But you've got the survival jacket, the survival suit you have to wear every time will give you 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It's cold, man. Like the icebergs and shit floating past there.
Yeah, well.
Cold, man. Yeah.
Well, they're certainly going to links to get
so
oil,
it's like
right?
maybe like we were like I was on like the border of Scotland and Norway, like right north, man. Like the Arctic Circle is a couple hundred miles away. Like, you know what I mean? Like, freezing, mate.
Man, that's fucking hectic, bro.
Sorry, I want to jump in real quick, Cal. Can I get you to bring your mic up?
Yeah. What you want to do is fold it up a little bit. Yeah, and now bring it under you. There we go. That's where we want to be.
That a bit better?
Yeah, that's a bit better.
Yeah, with a newbie to it, I'll get there.
Yeah, you get there, mate.
I was a newbie once too.
That's all good, man. It's all good.
That's why I'm here, so continue, sorry.
Yeah, man, like, holy shit, man.
So, like, my second ever trip offshore, 18, and it was like the storm of the century. So I'm not lying to you, man. I was offshore and it was the heave was 32 meters. So the boat, the 32 meter heave. So the boat's moving up and down 32 meters. The waves are fucking.
So it's like a sea state 5 sort of scenario.
150 foot waves, right?
Fuck, dude.
And I'm 18 years old, like fresh. Still don't know anything, but I didn't know no fuck all then.
Oh man, 18-year-old. You're still a kid, right?
Yeah, right. And I'm offshore. I'm in this bloody. I was on a big ship, so I wasn't on a platform. I was on an FPSO. It's called a floating production and storage offloading vessel. So this is a converted tanker basically, which sucks oil out the ground and stores it.
Yeah.
So we're in a big ship, mate. 250 meters long. So big, 1,000 ton, a million ton, like yeah. 500,000 deadweight tons with nothing on it. And so second trip, 32 meter waves. So they come in like sets, you know, like every 15 minutes you get a 32 meter wave come through,
and you get the swell coming through and hitting you.
And then, but the median would be 25, like 26 meters.
Yeah,
so like just constant for 3 days. And I didn't sleep for 3 or 4 days. I'm telling you, so we couldn't go outside or do any work. It's that bad. We're sitting in the cinema. So you got like a smoking cinema, a no smoker cinema. It's all like.
I believe they've catered for both types of people.
Yeah, it's all swanky. Right. So I'm in the fucking smokers. Like, I'm like, here we go, boys. And like, you're sitting there and you're pulling G, like you're stuck to your seat, mate. Like, boom, stuck to your seat. It's that intense, coming up a 30 meter wave. And then boom, you get to the top, it gets to the crest, and you're weightless like 5 seconds. 7, sometimes it was like 10 seconds just floating, bro.
Wow, so you're having shifting G's.
Full on, mate, right? And you're on a boat. Full on, yeah. Full on as fuck, man, right? And then it comes crashing down after it goes over the crest, it just fucking bang, slams. 7.5 earthquake, more. But it's full on, like the boat's like this.
Yeah.
So being as a mechanic, trips all the sensors, all the engines shut down.
Yeah.
Everything shuts down. So we're going down, walking down, resetting things where the boat's doing this. I'm walking downstairs normally, I'm hanging on them. And the stairs are going above me like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like otherwise we're gonna lose power and we'll go sideways into the storm. and then you're fucked. Like, so yeah, someone has to do it.
So yeah, but you're in a critical scenario where you've got to get the job done.
And our sister ship at the time, the Maersk Griffin, was maybe 120 miles away from us, snapped 8 of its anchors in the same storm. Out of 10 anchors, it snapped 8 of them. I was in dry dock for 3 years after that.
Yeah, but aren't the chains on those anchors they're like the size of a man, right?
Like
just one link.
Like this table. Links this table, yeah. Snapped 8 of them out of 10.
Wow. That would be a sight. Do you ever get to see the sheared end of it, or?
No, I didn't see that, but my a bloke who used to work on the sister ship came and worked with us after that, and they're getting airlifted off the sort of yellow Sea Kings we get in the UK, which are search and rescue.
It's the same over here. They use Sea Kings for the Navy,
Yeah, I know. They were getting winched off in like 30-meter waves, so they had to run out the accommodation onto the heli deck. The boat's doing this. The helicopter has to match that. Fuck that, mate.
Oh man, in Oz we call it a 55.
Nah.
So 50-cent piece, 5-cent piece, 50-cent piece, 5-cent piece. Yeah. You're just puckering your asshole, man, and shit like that, right?
I could not imagine. That would be trauma for life. Doing something like that,
Yeah, man. Oh wow. Man, that's just fucking insane,
so,
dude.
yeah, I did that for 3-4 years. Finished then I finished it, and because it's sort of like I'll be in the tea shop with all these old cunts, man. Like, sorry.
No,
all these old blokes.
Man, we're on the fucking internet. It's all fine.
They're just doing the same shit. They've been doing the same shit for fucking 40 years.
Yeah.
Just offshore, 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, and that's it. That's all they do. And I was like, right, I've got my ticket now. I finished my apprenticeship. Fuck it, I'm gonna travel now before I get stuck in this mundane, shitty little routine.
It's probably a really smart move, man. I had the same sort of issue.
And now I'm here sitting with you.
Yeah, man. Oh, look.
5 years later.
Man, I was in the military for 10 years plus, and I had the same.
Right.
I had the same epiphany. Like, I was around dudes, and not to say that there's anything wrong with that. You know, people have families. They have their reasons for doing dangerous work. Yeah. But I just come to a conclusion, like, if I don't stop doing this now, I will never know anything else. And that was the motivator to change.
That's how I've never been able to describe it like that. That's how I felt. If I don't do something now, I'm gonna stagnate and be like these fuckers in 40 years time, fat, in a marriage I don't fucking want to be in.
Yeah, disgruntled.
Never done. Make loads of money, but just waste it. Because the more money you make, the more you waste.
That's true.
So you're very.
Especially in that frame of mind.
You're very greedy when you're making that much money.
Well, I think a big part of it as well is when you're doing jobs like that, when you're risking your life for 2 weeks at a time and then having 2 weeks off, a part of your brain goes, well, and as the old saying goes, work hard, play hard.
Yeah, that's it.
And you're going to play hard, especially doing work like that, because you go, well, life is short, right?
That's what happens, man. So these especially, I was 18 years old, mate, young, and I was making fucking more money than my mum had ever made in her life. Like, you know what I mean? A year at 18, mate. We didn't get any training. Like, we're in college, no financial. Right, this is what. Right, you're going to be making a lot of money next year. Right, this is what you need to watch out for. This is what you need to do. This is good ways to invest your money. This is good ways to do that. Fucking none of that, mate. Here's fucking £80,000 at 18 years old a year. There you go, mate. Go. What the fuck, mate?
Oh man, I was a bit different. Like,
you know, I'm like, woohoo, let's go.
Because I went to East Timor when I was 20.
Aye.
And on a very high wage for a 20-year-old. You know, you're making like $500 tax free a day. And you're doing that for 7 months at a time.
Decent, mate.
It's insane money for a 20-year-old. But I had a philosophy: draw a line down the middle. Right?
Yeah.
Half of it is going to be invested into things that are going to work for me, and the other half is going to remind me why I'm alive.
Yes, I like that idea. I wish I'd fucking thought of that, man.
Well, I guess it was part of the neighbourhood that I grew up in.
Oh.
That's where I draw that from. Now you go, well, I want to sort of rise out of from where I was. And then, like, the military was an escape for me for that. Like, it was an opportunity for me to get some life experience, get some education and training.
100%, man. Probably one of the best ways to do that as well.
Yeah.
I reckon, joining the military.
But I think it's a bit of a circus, though. Of course it is. It's full of runaways, man.
Everything is.
Everyone's running away.
My dad did the exact same thing.
Yeah.
He had to get out of his shitty dead-end town. You know, had to. Otherwise, he said he'll be a heroin addict now.
But what,
you know what I mean?
But we were talking about your old man a couple of weeks ago. So was he in the Marines or was he in the Navy?
He was in Royal Air Force.
Okay.
So he did 22 years in Royal Air Force as a city, they're called, so a gas propulsion airframe technician.
Okay.
So basically just fix gas turbines and look at the airframes on helicopters, fast moving jets and also surveillance jets for the British Royal Air Force. Yeah.
Oh wow.
So yeah, 22 years he did that for. So been all over. He lived in Germany for bloody 3 years on the tornadoes and the Gulf War. Yeah. The early 90s, did all that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, even just talking about your experience, like surely when I talk about, because obviously he would have a bit of PTSD from his service, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Even just what you've talked about with your job. Sure. Do you ever get any PTSD from going on those helicopters and working in those environments?
I wouldn't say it's not. Maybe for an hour. Like, it's not prolonged. You just got to do it. You know,
Yeah.
you get your mindset into it. Like, I'm worried. Heaps, like shit, like the night before I'm about to fly, I'm like, oh fuck.
Well, I think that's more of acute stress. That's acute stress, right?
Like, not like stuff that would I'm fine now.
Well, because I guess the reason I asked,
I'll go on a helicopter again.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't choose to.
Yeah.
Like, if I had to, I would. But I wouldn't be like, oh.
Well, it definitely could be.
Let's go and have a fucking helicopter ride, huh? Fuck that, man. Nah.
Well, I guess I ask is because like I experienced PTSD from prolonged exposure to dangerous situations, and those dangerous situations could be very benign in nature. Because a lot of people, when they think about PTSD, they think about this Rambo-esque scenario of explosions around you and living in this really chaotic environment. But my experience to it is that it's a prolonged exposure to danger.
Yes.
Because when you have a little bit of exposure to danger, you go, I'm young, dumb, and full of cum, and I'm ready to go. But when I started getting older and doing these roles, like for instance, I lived in third world countries for a couple of years of my life.
Yeah, far off. Yeah.
In dangerous environments, right? In war zones.
Yeah.
And you when you're in those situations, you don't pay mind to it. You accept that you are in danger, but you continue with your job. And, I had a logistical job. It's not like I had a job that was, kicking in doors looking for the Taliban. I was the guy that was supporting the guys kicking in doors looking for the Taliban. And I think there's a scale of that sort of PTSD. And I guess what got me through my episodes of PTSD, if you like, it was certainly been my family.
Yeah.
Having a strong friend network as well, like a really close friend.
Very important, I think that is. Like.
Yeah. Well, that's why I worry, especially in Australia at the moment. You have a lot of veterans that are overlooked from Veteran Affairs. You have people that are isolated, and that's when your suicide rate will go up.
Same in the UK, mate. Problem.
And we forget about these people, but I think some of us are fortunate to deal with PTSD in a proper environment, but not everyone has that. But you were talking to me before about dealing with your old man and his PTSD, and you guys shared a few moments together.
For years, mate. Ever since he got back from Afghanistan. When would that have been? That'll be 2002.
Yeah, okay.
When he got back from...
so the original incursion force to Afghanistan,
yeah. When he got back. He'd been in Iraq and he'd been to Oman and, he'd been all over there. Kuwait, all that shit. But, when he got back from Afghanistan, it was in 2002, I'm sure. Like 2002, 2003 maybe. So yeah, where I live in Scotland, there's a place called Royal Air Force, RAF Kinloss. There's two RAF bases within 8 miles of each other in the north of Scotland. Very fantastic location for airport, surrounded by mountains, but nice flat open beach. Hitler was actually going to invade here. Where I live.
Oh, so that was the footstone to get into Great Britain.
From Norway, it's going to come through the Moray Firth, and that it's still to this day where I live in Scotland. There's metre cube concrete blocks all the way down my tank traps, all the way down my beach. Pillboxes every couple hundred metres, And so anyway. So we live in this.
That'd be interesting.
So we live in this mad place, right? Apparently it's 365 days fog free. that's why they built them there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I lived there. And based in RAF Kinloss was we had this aircraft called the Nimrod, which was a maritime surveillance aircraft.
Yeah, I know about the Nimrod. Yeah.
So you people have recognised that no one really knows, but they recognise it's got a massive like point off the top of it.
That's
Massive
right.
nose, big bomb bay, it's got 4 Rolls-Royce Merlin engines that power it, and a submarine hunter for the Cold War.
Yeah, that's right. That had a lot of detection equipment on it, cameras, that sort of thing. Yeah.
The most amazing things. I don't even know if I'll probably fuck it. But so, from 10,000 feet, they can read you on a park bench reading a newspaper.
I'm pretty sure that's on the net by now.
Yeah, it might have been. Yeah.
That's fine.
This is and they can detect the football from like a 500-mile radius. They can detect a football in the ocean within a square meter.
And this is in the 40s, right?
This is built in the 60s.
Oh, okay.
So this was like every Nimrod was built in the 60s. There's no lasers or anything. It's different. There's one that's 4 foot longer.
Yeah.
Like there's that big difference.
They're that customised.
That because it's all with steel rules and fucking scribes and tape measures all made. So every spare part is different.
Oh wow.
So yeah, full on. Like the last.
Dude, I used to be a parts interpreter, and that sounds like a fucking nightmare.
Like the last of it is. Like I know. Imagine like fuck. I've got to try and find this for this XV bloody 23. We've got fuck. So yeah, like all these bloody they're all different. And so yeah, we got back. The reason he came back was because one of the Nimrods. So there's about 13 people on board a Nimrod to keep it, in the air. And
that's all right. He's just fixing the camera.
yeah, that's all right. So you got your bloody engineer, radar operators, navigators. There's heaps of computers and stuff. There's 13 people on board, and so they're flying over Afghanistan or in Iraq, filming the SAS.
Yeah.
Like watching them with their camera and telling them what to do. Like and this is all getting relayed.
Oh, dude. Pause. Dude.
I'm sorry, man.
Oh, man. Is it rolling? Is it still rolling? Just check if it's rolling. Stop the roll. We're back on air. We just had a massive blowout. That's all right. Nate has been really harsh on himself.
He's really stressing out.
But I just don't want him to harsh on himself because, Nate, you're all right, bro. You're all right.
That's what it is.
But you were talking about Hitler's doorway through Norway to the UK, and you were talking about your neighbourhood and about the Nimrod.
Yeah. And then I was talking about how my dad used to fix that Nimrod for bloody years.
Yeah, because he was in Afghanistan.
Yeah. So that was based next to my house, that plane. So I used to see that every single day. Take off, fly away. I knew all the children's. I went to school with like the pilot's children and the people who worked on that plane's children. They're my mates.
Typical military.
They're my friends, And so yeah, anyway, my dad came back in 2003 from Afghanistan. 2002, 2000. I think that was 2002.
I mean military brat.
It was September. Actually, it was September the 2nd, 2002, because that's my mum and dad's anniversary, and that's when it happened.
Yeah.
So they can't celebrate their anniversary anymore.
Oh, because it's got a damper.
So anyway, and on that day, the 2nd of September 2002, over Kandahar in Afghanistan.
Heavy time in the world and heavy time in the fight in that place in the world too.
And so a Nimrod just had some in-flight refueling through its nose. It's the Nimrod through that, and so doing surveillance with SAS on the ground, feedback. Like watching them, telling them right, there's someone coming around the corner now. Boom, like
real time intel.
Real time, yeah. And this is getting sent back to Kinloss near my house, where my mum was working.
Yeah.
In special HQ, so top secret, full on. Like she's one of the only 100 women in the UK that's classified top secret.
Yeah.
So she knows a lot of fucking shit.
Sounds like a smart lady.
Yeah. So yeah,
in some ways.
No, joking, mum, if you ever watched this. But no, she is very smart. And so anyway, this plane was flying over Kandahar, and a fuel line ruptured. So 13,000 feet, wherever its ceiling was, it was flying at 13,000 feet. Blew the whole plane apart in the sky. So my dad fixed this airplane every day for years. And knew every single person on board.
Yeah.
Friends, like personally, very personally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then so that he lost 13 of his
mates
in one day.
Yeah, I look. That's because a lot of people, as again, like people talk about PTSD and they talk about that cold face idea of someone fighting with a gun in their hand in a battle space. But people have got to understand that battle space has a big line behind it, and there's so much
supply.
There's so much hands of responsibility.
100%, and it all has to link together to make it work.
Yeah, and
you know what I mean.
And if you send out a bit of kit that it didn't perform for whatever reason, you're going to feel that. You're going to feel that, and you're going to feel the grievance.
Yeah, and the thing is that my dad was the sergeant, so we saw that airplane off.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like this airplane.
That's really harsh,
this airplane's fucking fantastic. Like engineer, my dad, man. It was always still talked about to this day, and he sent this plane off.
Well, but before we go on, I'd just like to thank your old man for his service.
Yeah,
and your mother for her service as well.
Me too, man. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I think that's really important
to say. Yeah.
But yeah, so obviously, he's taken a very good dose of PTSD over that.
Not only that as well, like they have to stay in tents next to the plane. In Basra in Iraq, or wherever they are in bloody over there, and getting mortared. The Taliban are mortaring them, trying to hit the Nimrods. Yeah. And they're sleeping in like sandbag bloody tents, getting mortared all the time, and bloody every night they're picking their fucking helmets up, putting the helmet on, jacket on, ducking down under the bloody sandbags, constantly.
Well, we used to call them B huts. You stay in a B hut. But what the Taliban used to do is what they call indirect attack, because they didn't have the sophistication of targeting, a direct target.
No, they just fuck them off, yeah.
Yeah, essentially it's like a fireworks, light it and fuck off, right? That's what they used to do, and that's why they call it an indirect attack. Like, they know the base is there, so they'll aim just at the base, but they're not directly targeting anything, they're just firing and hoping for the best, which is worse. Yeah. Because if you think about it, you go, fuck yeah, I could go for a piss here.
And you could be having a shit, and you fucking...
It's a portal.
You're gone.
You're gone, right? And that's what I was talking about before. It's just that idea that the will of your life is at the hands of destiny.
Yeah.
Because you have no control of that. You don't know if you're going on that helicopter to land on that that tanker, and if they had an instrument failure, they're going to bounce off a deck, and then bang, you're into the...
I'm in the sea. I'm in minus bloody...
Yeah, and you're hoping that bloody pool training fucking comes in handy.
Right? I am.
And that's why I talk about that. I always talk about this. That's where PTSD is born.
Yeah.
The other thing that fuels PTSD is separation from your family, separation from people you love.
My dad would be gone away for 6 months, at least at a time.
Because you don't... And you can't talk on the phone.
No.
Like,
blueies, remember the blueies? The letters?
Yes.
So we used to send blueies. Like, there's this blue piece of paper that you could only send... They could only receive that for some reason.
Even if I was talking to my partner on the phone, or I was talking to my father on the phone while I was in like Afghanistan or something like that.
Yeah.
They would say an easy question like, "Did your package arrive today?" And you go, "I can't talk about that."
I remember.
They're like, well, "I just want to know if you got your mail." I go, "If I talk about the mail, then if someone's listening, they know planes are landing."
Yeah.
And that's a compromise of security.
I forgot about that actually. And that's why we had to purely communicate. Rarely, it was like once every month, I'd be able to speak to my dad on the phone.
And but my dad would go, "Hey Ross, how are you going?" I go, "Don't use my name. You're not allowed to use my name."
I remember.
So you may have contact with the outside world, but it's very limited.
I remember him sitting down. My mum was in the military as well. I remember him sitting me down before he left and was telling me all that stuff. Like, when we're on the phone, blah blah blah, you can't say this. No, I'm like, I was a kid. Alright, whatever.
Like,
fuck off, Dad. Like, I'm gonna go play football with my mates. And he's like, I'm like, oh. But then when it happened, when he was out, and it was like, I was like, oh, yeah, actually, this is pretty. It does feel fucking pretty serious.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, when gravity becomes relevant. Yeah. And I know what you're talking about.
Wow.
But that's where PTSD will start exposing itself. And another way I talk about PTSD is an identity crisis.
Yeah.
Like, because in the military, you're in charge of multi-million-dollar equipment. You know, you're in charge of all these things. You're somebody.
Yeah.
You're an important person.
Yeah. That's very on it, like.
And when you're removed out of that importance, then you start to have an existential crisis. And I think it leads into what we've been talking about, do I want to do this for 40 years?
Yeah.
So if you do that for 40 years and you take that person out of that job, they'll have a reaction to that.
They're going to have PTSD.
They're going to have PTSD.
Something similar, you know? They're going to have something along that line.
And that's what that post-traumatic stress is. That's why it's post-traumatic.
Yeah.
Because it's really tied into identity crisis. It's about asking yourself who you are and what's your role in life.
And then, like, also what I realised was, like, I always felt like my dad just felt like he was hopeless.
Mm.
You couldn't, like, change it. He couldn't do anything. And he just felt hopeless.
Felt powerless.
Yeah. You know, it's very mad disease like to have.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. It's multifaceted, and I do need to have a big call out to those that have have been hit by an IED, that have been in a combat, because that's a whole other level of acute. Like,
100%.
Well, I think that moves beyond PTSD into acute stress. That they're different things. But that's why I would argue with Veteran Affairs. I would go, well, you didn't actually go into the battle space. You go, yeah, but I was supporting the battle space.
Yeah.
And it's at times our space became the battle space.
Yeah.
You know, within direct fire. And regardless of that, whether a shot was fired in anger or not, it could have been, and you were under that duress over that prolonged amount of time. And the other problem is that they had a trade shortfall. So what they would do to get around that is to redeploy people. So you would have people out there that have done, I did 2 tours of Afghanistan.
Yeah.
You'll have people out there that have done 3, 4, 5
I know people that have done like 8, mate.
But and I would ask anyone of any logical sense, doing 8 tours in a war zone, does that have a negative effect on someone's psyche? Of course it does. Of course it does.
Of course it has to.
It has to.
It has to.
And it's an organisation that's people who generally have run away to. And they've run away from something. So now they've got to take something that they're probably dealing with in their younger life.
Yeah.
And then trying to mould it in with what they're dealing with in their older life. And that's where government needs to step in. If you're going to send people into these dangerous scenarios, you should at least... They're very good at... Let me put it this way. They're very good at making the weapon. They're very good at constructing weapons.
Very good at killing people, aren't they?
Yeah, but are they good at making...
It makes money killing people.
It's profitable. Certainly it's profitable. But are they good at making the civilian? And I think that's where we need to evolve. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that let's abolish all lawyers and let's stand around in a field and hold hands and sing Kumbaya.
Let's all hug trees together.
Yeah, let's all hug trees together. I'm not talking about that. Let's be real. Wars are going to happen. They're going to happen. We're going to have conflict of interest.
We're humans, man.
We're humans. We've been doing it since we've been human, right?
Yeah. Even ants do it.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's part of nature, right? But let's acknowledge that there's another side to the coin, and I guess that's where I come from on PTSD. Is that it's an identity crisis, and it's prolonged exposure to danger, and it's separation from the ones that you love.
And it's like it's also like a severe amount of trauma in a very quick amount of time, but also being away from your family, being in a place you don't know. But it's fucked up, mate. Like it's but back then when my dad we didn't know. I didn't know
what it was.
7, 8 years, but no one knew what it wasn't there then.
Yeah.
Like early 2000s wasn't there.
Yeah.
No one talked about it. No one knew.
No, but look, you got to be a man. You know what I mean? And you got to get over it.
Yeah.
There was this kind of rhetoric out there.
So I remember weird things like I get ready to go to school in the morning, and I'm like, I fucking do my shit. Like, have a bowl of cereal, blah 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 blah. And then I'll fucking leave, and I'll just accidentally slam the door, like. Didn't think anything of it.
Yeah, loud sound.
Didn't think anything of it. Like, normal. Like, yep, bang. Or maybe I was a bit late. Slam the door, and then anyway, I worked for a day, not having a clue.
Yeah.
What's going on?
And you triggered the poor guy.
Not having a clue what's going on. I get home from fucking school, and my dad's just like, "Fucking come here." cunt.
Yeah,
Like,
you fucking slam that
you
fucking
slam
door.
that door, man. Like, you know, and then I'm like, I didn't mean it. You know, I'm like, I'm fucking sorry, but it's like, no,
yeah,
no.
just going to school.
Yeah, and he's like, no, I'm sorry. Like, and then he explained to me, he's like, when you slam that door and I hear that bang, he's jumping out of his bed and he's looking for his fucking helmet, his rifle, his helmet, his jacket, you know, his get ready, get out gear, and he's like, fuck, and then realizes he's in his bed alone.
Yeah.
Imagine that feeling.
Yeah, no, I can totally imagine that feeling. Look, for instance, when I served in Afghanistan, the rifle that I used to carry was an M4, and I've got to tell you, when you've got an M4 hanging above your bed when you sleep, you sleep well.
Yeah.
And when you come home and that M4 ain't there, you don't sleep so well.
Yeah.
Because you know that it's there, right?
Yeah.
There's one place I used to work, and it was across the way from a metal recycling place.
Right.
And about midday every day, they would show up in a dump.
Where was this?
This was in Ingleburn.
Right.
And there was a recycling place across the road. And we used to work in a quiet space. It was very much like a library.
Aye.
It was for TV production, and no one talked. It was a very quiet environment.
Yeah.
I actually got paid to watch TV. It's hilarious. Another story. Don't make me digress down that one. But you'd be sitting in there, and you know, it was a cool job. You used to have, you know, at times 1 million people at the end of your mouth. Really cool job.
Yeah.
But a very focus-driven job, an attention to detail job. And about midday every day, when I do a shift, you'll hear this dump truck dump 5 tons of steel.
Yeah.
And sometimes it would trigger me, man. And I would have this PTSD sort of reaction where I know I'm surrounded by people, and people come up to you and go, "Hey, what's about?" Can't hear what they're saying, because I'll be like trying to contain myself about this reaction my body's having, because I'm thinking, "Where's my rifle?"
Yeah.
And what do I need to do? And this is years after.
Yeah.
And I just find that because the brain is an amazing thing, and the brain is built to evolve with its environment. But sometimes it's kind of like the climate argument. You can't just switch coal off and switch solar on, man. You can't just switch the weapon off and switch the civilian on. It takes time. But there was certainly moments with loud bangs, like you're describing. That's something that would trigger in me. Well, I'd like to give people a reassurance out there, like in war conflicts, it's the military that holds the government at bay. There's no doubt about that in my mind. Not to digress too much into that, I can certainly, a lot of people that I talk to, especially in pub environments or out in social scenarios, people will have this, oh no, the military, they're all these meathead, dirt-kicking rock ape operators. That is really far from the truth. Don't get me wrong, there's a few bad eggs that would act like that.
Of course, like that's in any industry.
Yeah. I think of a footy team. Like generally, most of them work as a team, and you're going to have one fucking gronk that fucks it for everyone, right?
Look what's happened on the weekend with them fucking blokes going to the fucking schoolgirls, mate.
Yeah, well, look, they were 18, fair enough. But they were on a work task, not exactly appropriate.
It's not going to look good, is it?
No,
it doesn't matter how old you are. You're with your company.
Yeah, you're on work time,
you're on your work, and you're taking bloody school kids back to your fucking hotel that's paid for.
And you're on $500K a year plus, and you're fucking misrepresenting your team.
They'll learn. They're going to learn the hard way right now, but they'll
but as well though, like I'll play the devil's advocate there. I'll tip my hat to the footy players, man, because they are asked to be, you need to be really aggressive on the field, and you need to fucking go and fucking rip this guy's head off. But when you go to the pub, I just want you to behave and be a good boy. Yeah, right? Exactly. So that's
PTSD.
That's a hard line for people to drive. Don't get me wrong, dudes are totally in the wrong. They're on a work task. If they were on like a weekend and they picked up some young birds that are at a pub, that's totally different story. It's still maybe not appropriate if they're schoolgirls and they're in their mid-20s. Maybe not appropriate, but that's for those parties to decide what's right.
100%.
But if you're at work, man, you got to represent the workplace, and that's. I just imagine the PR person that got that text that morning.
Nah.
Oh, for fuck, you're kidding.
They're getting.
I don't know, how do you hire a PR person to be in the Bulldogs? That's a hard job.
Yeah, fucking more work there.
They don't have exactly a good reputation, but I hope they do it better, guys. I hope you do it better because I'm a big fan of the NRL, and you guys certainly do a good job.
Well, that's if it goes a fucking head.
Yeah.
All this virus that's going around.
Oh, all right, we're going in.
Bloody COVID.
Fucking COVID, fucking 19, man.
Fucking COVID-19.
Coronavirus, mask wearing stuff, right?
But I just thought Australians are fucking stupid as fuck for bulk buying fucking like
toilet paper,
bulk roll and all that. But nah.
Yeah.
Well, I go from they're all fucking thick as fuck as well because they're doing the same thing.
Well, they call it herd mentality. And that herd mentality, you can actually, I reckon people are going to get PhDs out of this, man. They're totally going to get PhDs out of it because they'll be able to research, right, so these social posts happened and this percentage of people went and purchased toilet paper based on a photograph
It's a lot of information very quickly. From you can get a lot of information off a lot of fucking people very quickly.
Well, this is a really big point, right, because we're talking about journalism, essentially, because before the phone, you would have, even though media companies had their vested interests, you could generally trust what they're going to say because they're regulated. They're a regulated industry. If a journalist put out misinformation, they'd lose their job, or if it was really bad misinformation, they'd get sued.
Well, they'd go to jail,
they'd be fucked over, right? But now, clearly, you can now quantify how many people accept social media for being true. And if you want to know the answer to that question, the first mob that went and bought all that toilet paper, you know where they're getting their information from.
Right?
100%.
100%, right? 100%.
PhD waiting out there to happen. If you're just finishing your Bachelor of Arts, get out there and get studying for this because we're looking for, a lot of people say that they're looking for more coders for computer coding for the future. They're also looking for statisticians. And,
mate, they love it.
If you want to be an analyst,
they love it. But what about
that is a PhD.
What about that bloody show that was on Netflix? I can't remember the name, but it was about how Facebook's like doing its a logarithm.
Cambridge Analytica.
That's it.
Yes.
And then forcing people, changing people's minds by advertising.
Man, I noticed that happened in Australia.
Oh, bro.
And people aren't talking about it.
Brexit.
Yeah, that's another example. But,
massive.
But I noticed that happened in Australia. I've got, because I have a lot of, some people think that I'm left-wing, some people think that I'm right-wing. I'm actually right in the centre. I just think the fucking thing is broken.
So am I. I'm fine in the centre.
Do I like making money? Yeah, so that makes me a liberal. Do I think we should cut down all the trees? No, so that makes me green.
Do I like making money? Yes. Do I like saving trees? Yes.
Yeah.
Do I like having fun? Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Should we support the rights of workers and give them sick days? Totally.
Fucking hell.
So that makes me Labour, right? So I'm very much in the middle, and I have obviously in my previous profession you would have probably a big swing to liberal thinkers, and I
don't really understand that liberal.
Well, generally,
right wing or left wing. So liberal's right wing, yeah.
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 What its true definition is right of centre, not right wing.
All right, yeah, okay.
Because right wing would be someone like Pauline Hanson or...
We have the Conservatives in the UK. Or we call them Conservative.
That's right, yeah, it's a bit different.
A bit...
Same thing, but different words.
A bit right of centre.
Yeah.
But it's a bit left, but more right.
Yeah. So they're right of centre, and Labour's supposed to be left of centre.
Labour's the other way around. Labour's the other side.
Yeah, if you want to look at something that's very left wing in Australia, look at the Greens Party. That's left wing.
Full on.
That's full on left wing.
Nothing would get done if they were in power.
If you want to look at the right wing parties, you'd have something like One Nation.
Pauline Hanson.
Yeah, they're right wing.
That's that gingerbird, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's always on telly.
Oh yeah. Can't miss her.
Yeah.
Can't miss her, mate.
Far out.
But look,
looks like she's being dragged through a fucking bush backwards.
Yeah.
Doesn't she? Jesus Christ.
People
are kicked her in the face as she's gone through.
Yeah.
God, make it.
Oh man, look, she has popped her head up several times over the last few decades, all with the same rhetoric but a different target. She was going after Asian people in the 90s, and now she goes up to
So she's
Middle
been around
Eastern.
for I thought she just popped up a few
Oh
years ago.
no! She was the. She's actually gone to jail back in the early 2000s.
Far out.
Yeah, man. Can you check that out? When did Pauline Hanson go to
I've
jail?
Does
I've
she get
actually-
locked up, mate?
Fucking oath, bro.
Far
Yeah,
out.
she got locked up.
Quality.
Yeah, man. I'm pretty sure. So did another senator that we've recently had, Darren Hinch. He got locked up for not revealing a source in I think it was a child sex crime scenario.
Fair enough.
Oh yeah, totally. He's certainly someone that falls on his sword. But he used to have the show called the Darren Hinch Show, and he had a famous saying: "Shame, shame, shame."
Right. Yeah.
That was his saying back in the 90s.
Right.
So, but that's the spectrum of Australian politics, right? But Labor and Liberal are supposed to be left and right of centre.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be centrists that
Yeah.
have minor different views,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
Labor
Yeah.
obviously is for the working force,
Yeah.
and Liberal are for corporate
businesses,
yeah,
rich
right?
fucks.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, and they support mining and all these sort of things. That's why you'll find more climate deniers in Liberal than in Labor.
I just find it hard. It's hard to understand how I fucking got voted in. Huh?
Oh man, this is what I'm getting to though. This Cambridge Analytica stuff. Because most, not to totally generalise, but most people in the military will vote Liberal.
Yeah, 100%.
Because Liberal will always up their budget, or sustain their budget.
Yeah, 100%.
If you get a Labor government in, they might cut your budget.
They're going to cut the military budget.
That's
They're going
right.
to cut.
So generally, it is an unspoken rule that in the military, people will vote Liberal.
Yeah.
So you'll find people that are very left or right of centre, even people that are left of centre will still vote Liberal in the military.
Yeah.
But out of that spectrum, you will have right-wing thinkers.
Right.
Not that it's, unless you're in the Nazi spectrum, there's nothing wrong with, that's why we fight wars, right, is to have the freedom to be right-wing or left-wing. That's the whole point.
I believe that started in 1994 in Australia,
Yeah.
but that was Pauline Hanson.
Yeah, but did you get Pauline Hanson? When did she go to jail?
She started in 1994.
When did she go to jail? When did she go to jail? Find out when she went to
Let's
jail.
find out when she goes to
But I lost a few friends during the election.
Yeah.
Because I was taking the piss out of both leaders, and they would only see posts where I'm taking the piss out of the current leader.
Yeah.
They didn't see me taking the piss out of Bill Shorten, because I took the piss out of both of them equally.
Yeah.
Right, I wasn't a Labor or Liberal person.
Yeah, I like that as well.
Like, I'll repost a meme if I think it's
You want to
fucking
know
funny.
how many friends I lost from the bloody Scottish independence and Brexit?
Mm.
That's like full-on turmoil, mate. That split our country in half.
Yeah.
It's full on.
It's very divisive.
It's full on. It's
Yeah.
fucked, mate.
And the same with the election. Like, I lost a few long-term friends out of it because they were like, "Oh, you were supporting Labor in these memes of yours." I'm like, well, one, they're not my memes. They were reposted memes that I thought were funny.
Yeah.
And two, I don't give a shit about the outcome because I think either outcome is fucked.
They all work under the same agenda.
Yeah,
anyway.
they're all got
They
their
all
pocket
push out
lines.
the same shit, just with a different
Yeah.
spin on it.
Yeah, and they got their
And
backers up. Their backers are
the outcome that they want at the end of the day is going to be the same no matter which party's in.
That's right. And I totally think that.
You know
I think
what I mean?
that they are motivated by their interests, and their interests are the ones that are funding them.
Yeah.
But either which way, I figured
yeah,
out there was a bit of a Cambridge Analytica thing going on in Australia. They were having all of the... a good example is Clive Palmer.
Full on.
This anti-Chinese, they're going to start taking over our farms, they're going to be building air bases in Australia, like this fanciful shit.
Clive fucking Palmer.
Yeah, right? Spent $80 million, didn't get in, right?
For a billboard.
Yeah, $80 million didn't get in. Does he benefit from that, spending that money? Probably does. Probably does, right?
100% he would, like.
And I reckon, because some of my friends that are leaning right, and no trouble to them, we have our separate views. Once their guy got in, Scotty from marketing got in.
Scotty from marketing, yeah.
Right, once he got in, they started attacking me online.
Oh,
Right, because they go, you were supporting Shorten in this regard. I'm like, you've disregarded my other posts where I'm taking the piss out of Shorten as well, and you've disregarded the ones that I'm going, taking the piss out of Morrison. But then I realised maybe it's not them hand picking it. maybe it's the algorithm that has inflamed them to... They're using the public as their weapon, 100%. Is my point.
It's massive, mate.
And they can figure out your political agenda by what you like, what you dislike, what you follow, and...
What you type.
And they've used it accordingly.
100%.
So if you want to know how the Liberal government got in, if you put sports rorts aside, and I've said this previously on the podcast, like it or lump it, it fucking worked, right? It fucking worked. But I also think they had other motivations.
Right, yeah.
If you look at Clive Palmer, certainly someone that was benefiting in his mining campaign for Australia, because Liberals support that.
Of course.
And I reckon, I wouldn't surprise me in the coming years if it came out that the Liberals hired an analytic company that foresters data from Facebook
It's got to come out.
to have an influence on voters. It would not surprise me if that came out. I'd be like, yeah, saw that on the wall. And even losing friends that I've had for a long time, I go, even when we've been at parties getting high and drinking, how in the fuck did we get here?
Yeah.
To this aggravated point of view. You know who I am. You know that I'm taking the piss, but now you've personally come out to attack me. So I'm like,
not on, like, yeah.
Oh no, just fucking block. Yeah, that's it. Fucking, I deal with you like the rest of the trolls that I have to fucking deal with.
Do it all the time, bro. Fuck him up, fuck him.
But I'm starting to take the other perspective. Don't read the comments, man. Just post shit. Don't read the comments.
I
don't give a fuck.
I don't reply to any of them really. Usually, I've stopped. I don't post much anymore. But I used to back years ago when I was young. Can't. Not anymore. But I'm over it now. I'm over social media, bro. I deleted it for 6 months last year. One of the best times of my life.
Oh man, I can't get out of it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I look my hat off to you. I can't get out of social media. The whole business revolves around social media.
Yeah.
The whole thing is...
I just speak Spanish, mate. I don't need it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I've got a different kettle of fish, man.
Yeah, but so I got rid of it for 6 months, and it's just amazing, like how you find like time and do shit I enjoy doing.
Well, man, I'm what you would describe as a digital immigrant. There's people that are born into the digital era.
So what you're saying is you were born in analog.
Yeah.
And you're like you've
migrated
over to the digital.
That's correct. Yeah. So I know how to use a dial tone phone.
I reckon I'm saying.
And I know how to go to the post office and send a letter.
I'm like the last 93 born. I'm like that last sort of.
You're like one of the last Mohicans.
I've got it. Yeah. I know what you mean. I didn't have a phone till I was. Oh, sorry. Sorry, microphone.
It's alright.
I had didn't have a phone till I was 16 years old.
Yeah.
I was only a Nokia bloody 3310.
That's a pretty good model, actually.
Great. I've still got it, actually.
Yeah. You should recycle that shit.
Still got it. It's fucking great. Still works. Still lasts like 4 days.
Yeah.
Fucking great.
But look, I think, but to the phone, though, like we're in this environment where we don't know what we've got. I think that being a digital immigrant or someone who understands analog, like there was a time where we didn't have the phone, and I know what life was like without the phone.
Same, yeah.
And I know what life is like with the phone. I don't know what's better. I
prefer without the phone.
My heart tells me that, but there's a part of my brain that goes, well, we're evolving, and you can't get in the way of progress.
I think it's making us way more stupid.
Yeah, but
because you don't have to remember stuff anymore.
Yeah, that's what I say. Google killed pub banter.
You don't.
So I used to have this thing. I'd go into a pub and spin a whole line of bullshit. Like, I mean, I'd go in there deliberately, come up with fake facts,
fucking oath,
and see how long it would take to come back.
That's what my dad used to do, mate.
And it was a major laugh.
I'm gutted I didn't have the opportunity. When I was old enough to go to the pubs, like fucking phones were well out then.
Yeah. Well, speaking of phones, like when phones started coming out, because I'm a big trivia fan, right? I love going to pubs to play trivia.
We do the trivia on the first.
Oh, look, we're going to do a total big shout out to the bin chickens. The fucking bin chickens, yo. We got, we've been slowly taking over the cow with our trivia. But the thing I like about that trivia, man, is you can't Google it. You can't Google it.
You're on a time.
You're on a timer, and you've got the controller in front of you. But look, we actually took a fall. A big shout out to Scotty. A big shout out to Bianca. A big shout out to Dan. The other Dan. If I missed it, who have I missed out?
Who else have we
Awkward
got?
hug.
Yeah, we got Afri, we've got Jeff, we've got Tian. That guy.
Yeah, Tian, yeah, big shout out.
Big shout out to them all.
Look,
Thank you for your help.
If you guys are listening, I just love hanging out with you guys and doing that trivia night. But I especially like it because there's no one Googling.
Yeah.
It's just us.
That's good. And it's like, it's
raw. But I do like the affectionate term that we're being given as the bin chickens. I love it. I fucking love it.
You explain it. It's not...
Well, it come from the staff. The staff used to call us the bin chickens.
The bin chickens.
Because we would show up after work and, like, you know, we were always on different shifts or different time scales. And so there was those odd occasions where we were all together. And I just I love all of it. I love all of it. And then there's the moments that I eventually convinced someone to play pool with me. And we go play some pool. But that trivia night is absolutely boss, man. I really enjoy that.
It's just fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just have a good laugh, sit down, shoot shit, have a fucking...
Well, we were undefeated until last week.
We got beat last week.
Look, a big shout out to, what are they called? The Fellowship?
The Fellowship.
The Fellowship. If you, by any chance you're listening to this crazy podcast, a big shout out.
The Fellowship.
But, hey, it took you 4 weeks to get us.
Fucking have it, man.
But we'll be back.
Fucking have it.
Yeah, no, look, a big shout out to those guys. You absolutely fill my heart full of joy, and I love hanging out with you. But look, I think we're right at the end. I think we're at the end, man.
Are we fucking done?
Yeah, I think we're done, man.
Fuck.
We ran out of time really quickly.
That was too quick.
Yeah, man.
Keep speaking for another 8 hours, I reckon.
I reckon. But look, there's the entire possibility to get you back.
You have to get me for a part 2, yeah.
Yeah, I'll get you back. I'll try to get you back.
I'll do it, man. I'm fucking... That's how.
Oh, man, I've had an absolute ball, but I've got to do the plugs as I go along.
Yeah,
so
that's fine, mate.
Make sure if you have anything that you want done in promos or if you have anything that you want done in Foley, contact me through stillsearchingproductions@gmail.com or personally message me on Facebook. You can find this podcast on iTunes for Apple Podcasts. You can find it on Spotify, Anchor, and of course on YouTube. And speaking of YouTube, subscribe right here, and if you want to know about more podcasts coming out, make sure you hit the little bell right about there. Looking for 10 more subscriptions, because then I can monetize this baby, alright? So get out there and subscribe, and once again, thank you very much, Cal, for joining me on the show,
Thank you, Roscoe, my brother.
Yeah,
Legend, man.
It's been an absolute pleasure, and we'll see you next time. Yeah. Man, that was a boss show.
Yeah, bro, that was good.
That was a boss show. Thank you very much, Cal.
No worries, mate.